Women have such dysregulated emotions.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
They do. They have such dysregulated emotions that they'll say, I'm leaving this thing because I'm not happy. What the does that mean? What is it? What do you mean you're not happy? Oh my God, he didn't. And this whole like woke community, this I need to feel seen, heard, and I need to be acknowledged 100% of the time. That's why you're single.
Sarah.
That's your problem.
Sarah.
If you think a person is supposed to get you 100% of the time, if you think that a person is supposed to make you happy 100% of the time, stay single. Don't get married.
Sarah.
Don't date. Don't even get to know anybody because you don't even make yourself happy 100% of the time. How do you expect a man to do this?
Sarah.
I'm so sick and tired of it. What? You keep Sarah in me. What?
Isn't it important for men to be happy in their relationships?
It's the most important.
There are large amounts of men that will disagree with you.
No, I think large amounts of men have gotten conditioned to feeling like their happiness doesn't matter. But that whole happy wife, happy life is BS. It's happy spouse, happy house. If you aren't looking at it from a space of we are here to serve each other, that's why 2 out of 3 marriages end in divorce. Mm-hmm. And the craziest part is most divorces are initiated by the women.
And I'm not trying to make excuses for men, but it's hard for men to date. Women aren't aware of this because men, we're not allowed to complain about dating in public. I'm not talking about getting dates. I'm just saying being like the good person y'all want us to be is difficult. We can't talk about it. Women can complain. Y'all go on bad dates. Y'all talk about it. Start a podcast. It's fun. You got to have empathy for women. They go through a lot. You got to make them feel seen. No matter how ridiculous the shit they say is. You gotta pretend like it makes sense. That's our job. I mastered it. I'm an expert. I know how to talk to the ladies. My homegirls, they love me. Because they go on dates sometimes, if it don't work out, I'm the first person they call to complain about the date. Because I know how to pretend, you know? I act like I'm shocked. Like I never heard no man do no like this ever. And I sell it. I'm like, what? He made you pay? For the food that you ate. They don't make them like they used to.
Listen, I've been around enough women to know women lie.
Oh, yeah.
Women lie.
Yeah.
And not only do women lie, women lie. The reason women lie so much is because they don't even believe they're lying.
Yeah. They rationalize and make it seem like it's reality.
They believe it's true.
Yeah.
A woman will crash a car into a tree.
Yeah.
No other cars around. Mm-hmm. She crashes into a tree.
Yeah.
Why'd you hit that tree? Well, it wasn't my fault. Why? It was raining and it was dark. You knew that when you got in the car.
Yeah.
Everyone else driving in the rain and the dark, and they didn't hit the tree.
Right.
Why did you hit the tree? Yeah, but it was raining and it's dark, and it's the first time I've driven the car, so... Yeah, but... Okay, whose fault is this? The tree's? That tree's been there for 100 years. Yeah. Never been hit before.
Yeah.
The car has driven up and down that road 10,000 times and never been crashed. Mm-hmm. Who do we blame? Well, it's not my fault. Don't blame me. That's the female mind. They're not responsible for anything ever. Now, if you ask that same woman 2 weeks later after she hit the tree, you'd be like, I got a Ferrari. You want to drive it? Yeah, I want to drive it. Are you a good driver? I'm a great driver.
The first thing that women need to forgive their husbands for is being a man.
Probably the first thing women need to forgive their husbands for is for being men. The problem is that women want strong men who are good providers and at the same time expect them to be like a girlfriend that they can always vent about a problem with. Men don't want to talk about problems. They want to solve them. Women want their man to be emotionally available. In other words, they want to turn him into a woman. It's as if some women want their man to have the characteristics of a woman without losing their masculinity. There will always be a power struggle between men and women. Only when women enjoy the strengths that they have that men don't, and enjoy the strengths that men have that they as women don't, will they be happier people and able to live in peace and harmony.
Bitter pill that a lot of guys have to understand is that women do not typically want conventionally masculine men until they're old. You have to understand this. What women chase in their younger years is chaos. So this is why women oftentimes are most aroused by guys who are constantly up and down in their emotional state. The behavior is erratic. There's no sense of stability. Maybe he's out running around on the streets or partying or whatever. Okay, and these are the men that she's going to choose to sleep with through all of her 20s and probably a good part of her 30s. Okay, your conventionally masculine traits that should be rewarded, like discipline, dedication, hard work, good at making money, honest, would be a good family man. She will not value these things until she is old, because now she's looking at her sense of security for the long term. You have to understand that she does not care about what you want.
Are there women out there who say they hate men? Of course. But are those women, but why? Why do they hate men, number one? And number two, is your life threatened? Are those women harming you? The answer is no. They just want you to leave them alone, and they're going to leave you alone. Like, literally.
At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. You can't claim that that's misandry. You know, guys will talk about their crazy ex-girlfriend almost as if it was someone that they had to, like, run for their life and, like, escape the clutches of, and the whole time it'll just be, like, a woman that they lied to and gaslit who's having an appropriate reaction. And
every
it's like,
time.
if women were out here doing the same to you that y'all do to women, women would have to prove their way out of jail.
Absolutely.
All women would have to prove their way out of jail. If we ever, even for one day, for 24 hours, reached equality with men as far as statistics and things like that, it would be over for us the next day.
Equal treatment for women!
Equal treatment for women, except when getting charged with a crime.
What?
Well, men generally get harsher prison sentences than women. That's not fair.
Okay. Equal treatment for women except when getting charged with a crime!
And when playing sports and fighting. Well, men and women shouldn't play sports together because men are physically stronger than women. It's not fair. It's not fair. Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Equal treatment for women except when getting charged with a crime and playing sports and fighting!
And paying for dinners and buying drinks and getting drafted into the military and doing dirty jobs. Okay, guys, I got a better idea. Let me just, one second.
Treat us like women! Treat us like women! Treat us like women!
My homegirl sent me a post that basically states that black men are the worst men to date and they are not romantic.
Now, ladies, I want you to take this video as a lesson of what men will do when they simply don't like you.
They treat being romantic like a crime.
Being romantic is not a crime. These men are just not romantic for women they don't think are worth it. Sorry.
You can see a lot of black men result into other races because they feel like black women are so mouthy because we stand up for ourselves and we have confidence in ourselves.
See, now not only are you putting down black men in this video, you are now stepping on every other race of women because apparently black women are the only ones that stand up for ourselves in relationships and demand respect. Is that the take you want to have?
And all we be asking for is simple respect that can't even be given. They think that it needs to be earned.
And this really is my final straw because you're dealing with a man that doesn't respect you. That means he doesn't like you. He just doesn't like you. Stop dealing with men that don't like you. They might want to sleep with you, but that doesn't mean that they like you. If they refuse to be romantic, if they refuse to respect you, if they think that all of this has to be earned, they just don't like you. Try someone else. I don't know.
She wants to wear the pants in the relationship, but she also wants a masculine man. She wants a man to lead, but villainizes him every time he does. If you want men to act masculine, you have to treat them like men. You can't lead every decision, control the relationship, and then wonder why you feel exhausted, irritated, and unsupported. Masculine men lead, they protect, they provide direction. But here's the issue, when men step into that role, many women villainize them. A man says, "Don't wear that tonight," and he's labeled controlling and insecure, when he's simply just protecting. A man says, "I'm not okay with your attitude," and is called manipulative, when he's just being clear about his expectations. A man says, "I don't tolerate disrespect," and suddenly he's a narcissist, when in reality he's just practicing self-respect. This isn't oppression, this is just masculine leadership. Masculinity has been demonized so much that women want strong men but are not allowing strength. Control isn't femininity, it's wounded energy. It comes from fear, not power. If you don't trust a man to lead, that's a conversation to have, not a role to sabotage. You cannot emasculate a man and still expect him to show up as one. If you want a masculine partner, stop punishing masculine behavior and labeling it as these negative buzzwords. Even when you're single, let men lead, let men protect, and let them be men. Because what you honor grows and what you attack disappears.
You know how I know y'all don't really be loving these men and y'all don't really be wanting to be with these men or even care about these men, because if you did, you would know that men are emotional men. A man that cares, A man that cares, when a man cares, he's going to display every part of him because he's trying to show you that he cares. And one thing you're going to know is that it's genuine, because he's going to do things that you have never gotten done for you probably before, and you probably don't even deserve him doing it for you. That's why you are able to identify when a man loves you.
And you just listen to some of these ladies out here, and you know automatically, dumb. Where is the college education? Where's the critical thinking? I remember one of the things that we had to do when I was in school. Well, at least it's kind of what my dad taught me. You need to learn to think critically. He was in business a lot of times, so and he worked for himself. He had 2 or 3 businesses, worked around a lot of high-profile people. So maybe that's that's where the thinking came from. But these modern women are not thinking critically. Sitting up here talking about, if you hate a man, then men need to start asking, why do we hate men? Why do you hate men? I can understand you say, man, that guy treated me this way. I don't really rock with him like that. But to sit up here and say, you hate all men, like all men have been doing stuff to you? You hate majority of men, like majority of men have been doing stuff? I mean, you're sitting up in a podcast studio. Y'all be walking around like this is World War III in here. And y'all be getting to y'all's destination back and forth just fine. And number 2, you also I gotta look at anything. There's nothing else to look at. You guys have been an idiot. Stop talking sometimes.
I DM'd a girl and I said hello or hi or something. And she said, hi, if you think I'm pretty, pay for my nails today. Thank you. Send me her Venmo. And I was like, and this is what I replied back. I said, I don't think you're that pretty. Then I said, that's girlfriend treatment. Then she said, haha, goodbye. And I thought it was so funny. 1, I don't even know you. 2, I've never met you. 3, how many people do you do this with? Huh? I'm not just one of these men. They're going to throw cash at you, then thinking me throwing cash at a stranger is going to get you to reply back? No. The only way you have access to my money is through me. I'm not just going to be sending you stuff like that.
That man hit the nail on the head when he started to question how frequently this woman has done this sort of thing in the past. Because absolutely, it is not the first time. He is not the first man. He is not special in any way. And he knows that, just like all good men know that. They're not going to send you money to go do your nails, especially when they're not in a relationship with you. It's just so odd to me that women don't connect these dots. Like, if you are expecting that of him, you are just filtering out all of the good men. And then you're left wondering, where are all the good men? Well, it's because you filtered them out months ago.
I didn't really realize that when you're a single mom, people just automatically expect you to want to date a man that also has kids. I was talking about it last night with my whole family because I was like, oh, well, maybe next year, like, I'll have a boyfriend, go on a double date with my brother and my sister-in-law. And then I started talking about how I don't want to be with a guy who also has kids. And they were like blown away by the concept because they're like, well, you have kids. And I'm like, I know, I'm not saying that I don't love kids because I absolutely adore kids, but in my soul, I just feel that I will not end up with a man that also has kids. If that changes and I fall in love with a man that happens to have kids, okay, never say never. I would prefer to date a man who absolutely loves kids, but doesn't have kids of his own. I've seen plenty of other single moms who end up marrying men who do not have kids of their own. I also see a ton of women who end up marrying a man who also has kids and then they have a blended family. Like, it's just personal preference, but I'm just shocked that people are shocked when I say that because I'm like, why do I have to date a man who has kids just because I have kids?
Women cheat just as much, if not more, than men, but women cheat in a different way. Women cheat emotionally. When you go through a woman's phone, it's a bunch of emotional cheating, a bunch of emotional ties that they have to men. It's particularly 1 or 2 men that'll be around for a couple of years where she's posting memes, like, trying to get his attention. He's like, oh, is this for me? Accepting little Cash App coffee dates from him and things like that. Every time something goes wrong in her relationship with her husband, she's running to this man online to tell him exactly what happened. And he's on her side, obviously, because he's hoping one day, he's going to hold it out because he has nothing to lose right now. He's not paying any bills for her. He's not really doing anything for her. He's being an emotional emotional ear for her, hoping, that one day when she does leave her husband, he's going to be, the first one up to taste that, you know what I mean? And so it's like women, though, they will divorce their husbands for cheating physically, but they've been cheating emotionally the whole time. And they will try to say it's not the same thing, but it is the same thing because women are emotional creatures. So you are being emotional. You're giving yourself to someone emotionally. That is a form of cheating. Whether women want to admit it or not, that is a huge form of cheating. And that's how the connections start. I think that's actually worse because this man knows you inside and out. Your husband and this girl, she don't even know his last name, and now she just looks dumb at this point. But this man that you've been emotionally cheating with for years knows your kids' birthdays, knows your co-worker's business, knows every single thing about you because you guys are emotional. Well, you're emotionally tied to him. It's not to say he's emotionally tied to you back. You know what I mean? He could have a wife, kids, girlfriend, anything he's not telling you about. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like I said, women will divorce their husbands for physically cheating when they've been emotionally cheating the whole time, and they will try to say it's not the same thing. But I promise you, if you go through that girl's DMs, she got a couple people from out a year or two that she's been talking to daily, if not hourly. You know what I mean? So yeah, women, the secret.
Educated women are not the women you want to be with.
Hey, I'm single because I've been married 3 times. Educated women are not the women to be with. Educated women, they are smart. They're good. Yeah, they're good people. I'm not saying anything bad about that, but educated women, their profession, they tend to look at that more than a relationship. When they go to work, they bow to the man that's paying the money. They listen to everything he says, but when they go home, the man at home, they tend to argue with.
If you were in the 50s, you would have thrived.
Oh, absolutely.
See, now,
no, not really, because I'm too dark.
Modern women find 80% of men as unattractive. And so on dating apps, which people will argue that maybe people on dating apps aren't looking for something serious, but that's the number one way people meet. Women only swipe right 5% of the time, up to 20% on the high end in certain studies. So women are all sleeping with the same guys. So for guys that are in that percentage, it's like they just have an abundance of girls throwing themselves at them. And then the women will come back later and say men are trash, but that's who
I think we need to have a speed dating thing, me and you, girl.
Why do guys want to be chased instead of courting women now?
What I'll say is, women, you need to position yourself to be caught. There's not enough women out here positioning themselves as feminine women. I think a lot of us are the man we want to be. So some of us got to take accountability for how hard we're being so that a man actually wants to chase us.
Here's the thing. I think that the women can start being feminine again when the men start being masculine again. Because these are the new bad. They want to be the bad now. They want to be put up. They asking you what the you bring to the table. So in the position, because women are reflections of their men, and we have now switched roles with them, I cannot step into my femininity until you step back into your masculinity, right? So I think that in order for us to stop chasing, these gotta stop running, stop asking these women, you know, what have you done for me lately and all of that. These are the new Beyoncés out here. It's rough in these streets, especially in Atlanta, if you know, you know.
Hey, hold on. Number one, nobody should be chasing after anyone. It should be a mutual effort on both sides. And you never have to chase what God sent. A lot of dudes, if we're going to keep it real, they saw years of men chasing women only to get played. While the men who didn't do half the work got the benefits. Because when you're really into a man, you don't make him jump through all these extra hoops. And when you do, it's because there's some other trauma maybe you haven't resolved. All right? So the goal ain't about making anyone chase, why this one's doing that. It's about, are we in alignment? Or do we have a connection? Can we build something together here and make it healthy and successful?
I've seen a lot of the women talk about, that ain't me, I never chase a You know, you chase that man every time you forgive him and he ain't earned that. You chase that man every time you double, triple text back without no response. You chase that man every time you say, when you gonna take me out? We only hang at 2 a.m. Some of y'all chasing and you don't even know it. You chase every time you settle.
Come on.
You lessen what you know you deserve and expect from a man in a relationship. You settle every time. You want a man more than you want your dreams, your goals, and your ambitions. Sometimes chasing doesn't mean you actively running after it. Sometimes it's you dropping everything you got on your plate for a man that only made you an option. Every single time you rush the phone when he called, when you know he leave you on red. And that's the you give head to. I guess what I'm saying is, some of y'all are chasing and you don't even know it.
If a woman has the attitude, what do I need men for? My assignment is answer that question. So what do I need men for? I've done a lot of informal surveys. I'd ask the women, think about how many women that you know are for you. They're your friends. How many women does it take to make you feel as safe as one man you know is for you? And I've watched them. And they're thinking and thinking and thinking. And then they start to shake their heads. There is no number of women that makes a woman feel as safe as one man that she knows is for her. If a woman is leading with sexuality and bringing out take energy in men, they're either scary or she's sure she can manipulate them, but she's still not going to feel safe. Where if he's charmed and enchanted by her, which causes a man to care. You guys closely guard caring. Something else I learned from men. You know it's your biggest expenditure of energy. And it has this paradox. Women think men are simple. Men even say men are simple. No. Not caring can feel like freedom, but not caring can turn into, I have no purpose. My life is shit. It's not for anything, right? And then men have said, when a woman needs something from me, I have a purpose.
And once again, you had to have somebody on the panel come back and bring it all back to reality. Why don't men chase anymore? How come they don't want to court us anymore? Have you ever? And once again, there was no men hate women in there. It was just, I don't think that this is worth it. That's really all it is. Well, they're the new Beyoncés. They want to be treated like women. Or is it that they just want reciprocation? I'm putting out all of this. I mean, listen, you have to understand, if women, think about what you said. Think about what you continue to say. We're raising our standards and you have to meet them. You're going to have to match this. I'm not taking this or that from you anymore. Think about what you're saying. And then the man says, okay, cool. You want me to raise my standard? So if instead of me putting out 100, I'm putting out 250, 300 the first time meeting you, it's definitely going to cost you. You have to remember, and I understand inflation and stuff like that, but even with inflation, ice cream is still like $10. It's still $10. Like a nice ice cream spot is still like $10. So if y'all go and get ice cream and just sit there and talk, you can sit there and talk for 30, 45 minutes because that's what you're there to do. Even if you go to a nice burger spot and just get something to eat there, with inflation and everything, it's still going to be about 60, 70 bucks. Because you have some nice places and they charge like $20 per burger or something like that. And then the drink, and you might want to get a shake. And then we got these special fries that you want. So you might get out of there 60, 70 bucks, maybe even 80, maybe. But 80, taking somebody out and having to spend $80 over and over again. What is 80 times? Let's say you go on a date every other week. That's 160. That's a pretty good chunk of change for you too, as a woman. So you have to understand, what am I actually asking of these men? And if I'm raising my standard, then maybe they're saying, if I'm putting out this much money, then I expect a little bit more from you. But y'all say instead, well, I really don't have to bring anything. I'm bringing myself. I put makeup on for you, see? I put a nice dress on for you, see? Yeah, I see that, but that's not enough. It might have been enough when I was paying $150. That's when it might have been enough. Oh, she got all dolled up and dressed up. Okay, let's go for ice cream. Well, I didn't get dolled up and dressed up to go out like this. That's entitlement. That's entitlement. Don't get dolled up and dressed up then. Put a nice pair of jeans on. Put a nice shirt on. You know, put some heels on or whatever. You can put some nice shoes on. Let's go get some ice cream. 10, 15 bucks for the both of us. 30. That barrier, the barrier of entry goes down. See, right now, the barrier of entry with you guys is too high. You're asking a man to pay $500, $400. Let's say that. Let's say $250 to $500 the first time seeing you, and then you get to decide whether you like him or not. You're asking that man to drive across the state, drive across town, fly across town. By the time he gets a hotel and everything, even if it's a turnaround flight, he's out of pocket close to $1,000. Might even be $1,500. He would have to get on a super cheap flight, be uncomfortable, not sitting in a reasonable seat to come across state, come across the country to see you. Then he got to pay for everything. You like to live in a high rise or whatever and whatnot, even though you can't afford it. Now you're sitting up there telling them, well, this is the lifestyle I'm used to. Barely. You're struggling with it. And you expect him to cover your struggling so you can be out there acting cool. So that man, let's say he gets a ticket. I don't know where you're going to find it at. Let's say you're going to put him under the gun. He's going to have to come that next week. So the ticket's probably not going to be favorable to him, especially if he got to get it on like a week's notice. It's not going to be favorable at all. So he's going to end up paying about $400 at least. And that's on the very, very low end for a ticket. Then you probably, because you sprung on, he going to have to do it. Let's say he get out the door with a $200 hotel. Then he going to have to rent a car. They going to put a deposit on his card, about $100, $200. He's staring down the barrel of $600, $700, $800, and he ain't even seen you yet. Then he got to drive you all around town. Even with the rental car, that's probably going to be $200. So essentially, when they hopefully they're going to give him his deposit back. He got to fill up, he got to pay for gas, and then he got to take you out. Let's say you're up there for like a couple of days. Eating, you're going to want to eat with him all day, every day. So let's say breakfast, he take you out to breakfast. That's already $100 off top. $100 off top, sitting at $900. He take you out to lunch. It's going to be, let's say $75. Really not going to get out the door with $75, but let's say $75. You're looking at $975 right there. And then you do that over a couple of days, with dinner being like, oh man, the last day he went all out. The last day he not going to get out of there without putting down $250, $300. So you're looking at $1,100, $1,200 already. And that's one time meeting. And he got to do it in order to make a compelling case to even get something out of it. And say, well, I guess it was worth it because, she picked me. And then he's going to have to do that for the next 3, 4, 5 months until you finally decide to make your way to where he is. Is it really worth it? Am I going to get something in return? That's what any investor, man or woman, is going to say. I need to get my money back quickly. I need to get some sort of return on investment quickly.
I just feel like we're just roommates. Like, do you even love me?
Yeah, completely valid reason right there. A lot of men bond through physical intimacy, and when they don't get it very often, they genuinely don't feel like you love or desire them. And yeah, if you strip that out of a relationship, for a lot of people, what separates you from being a roommate? Not a whole lot. And I know everyone's drive is different, and that's valid if you and your partner can agree on the amount, but he should also have a say in that.
I just feel like you don't appreciate anything that I do for you.
Again, another valid thing a man could say. Because for a lot of people, when they receive something, they feel that natural urge to reciprocate in some way. And if your man has told you that he finds that very valuable to him, that's a great thing to reciprocate. And he shouldn't have to earn that. That should be automatic. That's a basic piece of a relationship that he should get on a regular basis. So if you're not giving that to him and there's no compromise there, you're kind of failing your end of it. When a man enters a relationship with you, the majority of men are agreeing to monogamy, not celibacy.
I mean, I do so much and I sacrifice so much, and I just want to feel like you appreciate me.
Yeah, a man wanting to be desired by the woman he's with and feel appreciated. Valid. Him communicating that to the woman he's with. Valid.
Maybe you should be paranoid about the ladies at the coffee shop and that I'm way too friendly with them. You're not giving me anything, so maybe you should be worried.
Personally, I've never heard a man say something like this, but this one, not okay. If you kind of feel like that temptation is there, then a man should leave a relationship and not cheat. And I say that for both men and women. It's normal to feel tempted when you're deprived in a relationship, and I have a lot of empathy for men going through that, but cheating is still not the answer.
I hate men. I've heard this from women my entire life. It's so common these days to hear women say, all men are blank. Men ain't. And grouping them together and casting a judgment on the entire sex. And I've just never felt that way. In circles of women, they would often say, well, you probably don't feel this way towards men because you haven't experienced blank, insert the plethora of traumatic instances that can happen with men. And when I would share my stories that I often had, they would be like, well, you have all the reason to hate men, why don't you? Women's resentment towards men is not entirely misplaced, obviously. Look around at the world, abroad, and in our own local communities. When I think of the main reasons why women feel such hatred towards men, I just don't see a world where we correct those issues without men. Often the force required to correct the ferocity of evil-filled men is the ferocity of good-filled men. Obviously, women too. Men in their grounded, higher state are a force to be reckoned with. Okay, quick story time. I was a teenager walking into a store with my little brother, and to my right, a car pulls up full of men, waving a trying to coerce me to get into the car and kidnap me. I moved my brother to the side, and as I did, this old cowboy was walking out of the store towards us, saw everything that was happening, and he puts his hand on his back pocket to reach for his gun, and the car saw what he was doing and immediately drove off. And I'll never forget this moment because it was this crazy juxtaposing scene of men in their absolute unhinged nature, and then men in their beautiful protector, higher nature for someone he didn't even know. And it really did show how men can be a part of the solution to the problems they also create. I don't know if you know, but men account for 80% of the suicides in the United States. And I encourage you to listen to this incredible podcast. I have it up right here. It's called Young Men Are Quietly Giving Up. And this really alarms me as we're moving into a time where we really, really need strong men. Many women have absolutely no freedoms in different corners of the earth. And I'm just going to speak to the modern Western world for a second. In women's attempts and pursuit for male accountability, I feel like it has hardened so many women's outlook of men altogether. And you got a modern dynamic now where women are walking around incredibly jaded, and they project this energy onto men in their entirety, and then feel a lot of resistance to having accountability themselves. Like a collective grievance that turned into an absolving of looking into the mirror. We can so often become the archetype of the thing we protest. I believe reestablishing a sense of sacredness between the sexes is going to be a big part of the solution here. And both sexes have a lot of work to do here. Objectification is such a big part of this to men, and I hope we can continue to hold men accountable while also as women taking ownership of the parts that we should, like when we electively objectify ourselves and further feed into that energy that in the end doesn't serve us, and be a bit honest with that. I'm curious if you've had a journey with your relationship to men and how you see us all walking forward unified together.
I think a lot of men still believe that women are mainly looking for a provider, when in reality, a lot of women are already providing for themselves now. We have our own money, we have our own career, we have our own apartment. But what a lot of women are actually craving isn't just a man who can pay for things, it's a man who knows how to listen, a man with emotional intelligence, a man who can communicate and understand nuance and actually make a woman feel seen. Because you can be with a man who does everything right on paper, but if he doesn't understand you on a deeper level, you're still gonna feel lonely in that relationship. And I think this is where a lot of women go wrong in dating, because they prioritize the surface level traits, status, money, confidence, chemistry, but they don't stop early enough to ask, does this person actually understand me? Can he hold emotional depth? Does he know how to listen without making everything about himself? Because if you don't prioritize that early on, you can easily end up in a relationship where you're deeply misunderstood. And I don't think that's talked about enough. A provider's great, but being emotionally safe with someone, being deeply understood by someone, those are the things that actually determine the quality of the relationship.
Things I don't do anymore because I have a real man in my life now. First thing, pay bills. I don't pay almost any bills. Majority of those, including mortgage, are paid by my man. Second thing is drive car. I literally never drove car since we are together, and I might start in the future, but for now, I'm good. And that brings me to the third thing, and that's I never pump gas or do anything else related to the car. He handles all of those. He pays all of the bills around the car, so I don't have to do anything when it comes to that. Fourth thing is take the trash out. I literally never took the trash out since we are together. It's been years. The fifth thing is fix stuff around the house. Either he's going to do that or he's going to call somebody who's going to do it. I started painting doors the other day and he literally got mad because I didn't call him to do it. And the last thing is plan the dates and pay for the dates. That's usually something that he does. Occasionally I'm going to do it, but usually he's the main one who plans our dates and he's really good at it. Now let me know if you want to hear in the next video the things I'm doing for my man that he doesn't need to do anymore since he's with me. And there is a lot of those too, trust me.
Ladies, I may be mid, but here are 10 reasons why my husband buys me Cartier. I don't argue. I state my perspective once and let him process it without pressure. I let him fix things his way, then celebrate the result. You always figure it out. I prioritize myself unapologetically. He sees me valuing me, so he does too. I protect our energy ruthlessly. No drama, no unnecessary stress brought into our home. I don't ask, do you still love me? I ask myself, am I still the woman he chose? And make sure I show up accordingly. I assume he's on my team. That makes him want to prove me right. I say I trust you when he makes decisions, even big ones. I make desire visible so he knows what he is protecting. I stay warm even when I disagree. He's not looking for conflict at home. He's looking for relief from it. I'm graceful, calm, and magnetic everywhere I go. That makes him proud to claim me in every room. Follow for more love hacks that actually work.
If a man is coming to you and he's telling you that he needs help in any way, financially, just need help, period. Like you're going to save the day, he don't like you.
And yet more proof that y'all don't understand men. First of all, men don't like asking for help anyway. It's a matter of pride. And they're certainly not going to ask for help from people they don't like. If they do choose to humble themselves enough to ask for help, it's usually from somebody they trust.
Today we have stop dating on potential. Too many people today, they're dating the idea and not the person. You guys cake up an idea of what you want the girl you're talking to be instead of looking at who she actually is. I can't tell you how many friends I've heard say, well, she's great and all, but only if she didn't go out all the time. Oh, but she does. So you're creating this idea of what she could be instead of what she is. That's a problem. You're going to get yourself into a sticky situation thinking that way. Very rarely do people change. Very rarely do people change. And how do you have the audacity to think you're so special that someone's going to switch up their entire life for you? Could it happen? Sure. Is it going to happen? Probably not. And the amount of energy and effort that you're going to have to put in to try to change somebody, not worth it. And last but not least, you dilute your value by doing this. Do you believe that you can't go find somebody that is the person you already want them to be? You're out here thinking that this person, even though they have all these problems that you don't like, is the one that you just have to be with. Basically, you're saying that you're not good enough to go find a better one. Kick that to the curb, go work on yourself, and you'll find a better one along the way. You'd rather be alone than be with the person you're not supposed to be with. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk today, and I'll see you at the same time again tomorrow.
And I'm just listening to the lady talk about what her man does for her. And I remember her saying something to the effect of, I tried to paint the other day. Most modern women wouldn't even do that. It would be, oh, that's a foregone conclusion. He's going to be painting. He's going to be doing all the work around the house. He'll be lucky if I throw something in the washer for him. He'll be lucky if I cook something for him. I'm not here for that. I'm the prize. They say a lot of stupid stuff like that.
Women that are career driven, do they lower their wife value if women are career driven?
I think that women, see, this is so challenging because I am a career woman, and also your career will not keep you warm at night. And I think that a lot of women have started to consider money as happiness. And I think also because of the consistent rejection, they have now started the projection of, oh, I don't want a man, or I'm happy all by myself, or I'm just in a season of choosing me. No, we were made to connect. We all know, and I don't care what anyone says, even the people that have been ran through the most, they hate that they did. There's a very small select group of people that don't want anyone. Very small, very small, very small, very small, very small. But for the majority of people, we want a person. And if you want a person, that career, that income, those accolades, those achievements, a high value masculine man doesn't give not one about it. Now, he does care about how that's made you as a person. You have the ability to make decisions. That's great. You have the ability to run a household. That's great. You have the ability to follow a lead. That's great. You have the ability to do a lot of things, but he's more interested in you and your character than the accolades, achievements, and money that you make. And that career will not keep you warm at night. It just won't. And I think that we as women are losing track of what actually matters, and we're starting to mean that money means happiness. No, y'all can get to the bag. Get to the family. Get to the nuclear family.
A lot of men are very scared to take the risk for love, Sarah.
I hear a lot of women saying, where are all the good men? Where are all the good men at? And as someone who talks to single men every single day who are very serious about partnership, let me tell you where these men are hanging out. The first is these men are incredibly focused on their goals and their dreams. So they are not at the bar. They are not at the club. These guys are hustling on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They are working towards their dreams. They are working towards their purpose. I talk to a lot of these guys and they wake up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. They are super focused on their health. So if you are looking for a guy that takes care of himself, who is healthy, it's important that you yourself are also taking care of yourself. Now, you don't need to wake up that early in the morning, but it is important that you have healthy habits. And those guys are also not excessively drinking, or they're not drinking at all. Most of them honestly have stopped like between their late 20s and early 30s. They are taking time out of their schedule to visit their parents, to spend time with their siblings, their nieces, nephews. A lot of these really great guys, they have a solid group of friends, either from high school, from college, from their 20s. They keep in touch with these people. They go on trips with them. They hang out with them. They spend time with them and their significant others. The ones that I've been speaking to as of late are not out there spending their time doing things that are not going to have an ROI either on their health or their career or their overall dreams.
We need to stick to the status quo, which is men approaching women. Women should not be approaching men. I think men have lost the plot because they love to just use their excuses of, oh, it's not worth the reward, or we're like gonna come off creepy. Like, you gotta get over that, or else you're literally gonna be single forever, and we all know that you don't want to be single forever. I also think that it's like crazy because I think sometimes men just think that like one day like a girl is just gonna like, they're gonna snap their fingers and like a girl's just gonna like end up in their house, and then like that's the girl that they're gonna get married to. And it's like, it's not that easy, and it doesn't work that way. Like, you actually have to go out and do the work. You shouldn't be pushing 30 and like still not knowing what you want for the rest of your life.
Oh my God, there's no way. You can't be single. You gotta have a secret woman. Oh my God, you're so handsome, you have a good job. Because they want slaves. Women don't want partners, baby girl, okay? Listen to me. Women don't want partners, they want slaves. ATMs, do I look, man? I know I got some broad shoulders, you know what I'm saying? I hit the gym now. I ain't no ATM, you feel me? My money. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing all that. He don't spend it on me. I'm not gonna spend it on you. Get your own. I'll spend it on my wife, and none of y'all got wifey material characteristics, so as far as I've seen. So yes, I will continue to be single. I'm happy being single without the headaches. So stop asking me. Smart men are single. Trust me.
The curse on women is we desire to be desired. But now it's out of order because now we have women that they got a man, but they're worried about why other men don't think about them or what other men think about them. Or they're posting like they're still trying to attract or advertise for other men and arguing with their man about what they're posting. Why can't I post it? I don't understand this. Why not? You are watching these other women that are girlfriends at best They may not be nobody's wife, not for long. How they're conducting themselves, and you're saying that's what I want. No, you don't want that. That's out of order. That's why it don't work. When we're so worried about what other people, this random man in Alaska, whether he likes your video or not, or whether some dude at the gas station thinks you're attractive or not. Now we're making our man feel like he not enough because we haven't dealt with our own insecurities. We're so busy trying to look attractive to the overarching whole. And that's because we don't feel good enough within ourselves. We're too dependent on other people to make us feel good about ourselves. And that's an insecurity issue. And that's another big problem with today's generation. We're incredibly insecure. And because we're incredibly insecure, we're doing all these things to get attention, not intention. And now men are looking at us like, man, they're thirsty. You out here posting yourself twerking with a bikini on to try to get attention from a man to get a like or a follow. That doesn't look like wife behavior. Then we mad at a man because he's sexualizing or objectifying us when you put yourself in that position by what you're posting. You out here posting or showing yourself in different locations, you traveling more than the Harlem Globetrotters, and people trying to understand, what do you do that you're traveling this much? We know you ain't working that type of job that you traveling so much, but you're just allowing yourself to be, I want to be flown out here. I'm seeing this lifestyle. This lifestyle is not attractive to men who are looking for a wife. That lifestyle is attractive to a man who wants you for a night at best or a weekend at best. Let's go to St. Bart's for the weekend and then come back and I don't want to hear from you again. That's not the type. When you have to understand, when you're playing a wife game, you're playing the long game. What does that mean? It'll feel like you're losing before you're winning.
I've given up dating and pursuing women, and I think more men should do the same. I haven't given up out of hopelessness. I've given up out of clarity. And no, it's not because I'm gay. This isn't a coming out video, but that'd be really funny if it was. I've deleted the apps. I've stopped chasing, and instead I've become completely obsessed with building the life that I actually want to live. My music, my businesses, my health, my home, my son, my purpose, the things that actually set my soul on fire. And here's what I've realized. That obsession brings me more fulfillment than any relationship ever has. I wake up genuinely excited about what I'm building, and there's something that feels so deeply right about a man who knows exactly what he's here to do and just does it. So that's the work right now. Not becoming perfect, just focused on being whole, because the version of me that I'm embodying doesn't need a woman to feel complete. I'm already full. So when I meet someone next, I want there to be zero part of me looking for her to fulfill something in me. No neediness, no quiet desperation dressed up as romance. I want to show up already overflowing, and whatever we share is just extra. It's a bonus, pure joy on top of an already great life. That's the kind of love I actually want to experience. And I believe you can only really have that when you've done the work on yourself first. So that's exactly where I'm at. My focus is on being the best me, and I trust that the rest will follow.
Stop matching energy with the woman. That's feminine behavior. A lot of men today think relationships are supposed to work like a debate where whoever gets the last word wins. So the moment that a woman raises her voice, gets emotional, or says something spicy, the guy jumps right in and starts doing the exact same thing back. Now you got two people yelling. Two people trying to prove a point, two people reacting emotionally, and at that moment, there is no leader in the room. There's just chaos. A man leading a relationship doesn't mean he's louder, meaner, or trying to dominate every conversation. It means that he doesn't lose control of himself just because the moment gets emotional. Think about it like this. If the house catches on fire, right? It's a small little fire. The leader doesn't start screaming with everyone else. He just grabs water and puts the fire out. But a lot of men today see a small emotional moment and immediately turn it into a full-blown argument because their pride and ego gets involved. Now it's not about solving the problem anymore. It's about winning. And once the relationship turns into a competition, both people lose. When a woman gets emotional, half of the time, she's not even looking for you to fight back. She's trying to see if you're stable enough to handle the moment. And women, they got different cycles, right? Hormones, emotions. They're supposed to overreact and just be a woman. But when a man jumps in with the same energy, the respect starts to drop quietly, because now she's not looking at a leader, she's looking at another emotional participant. You can't lead the situation if you're reacting to it. You can't lead a situation being sassy. Calm men guide the room. Emotional men, they get dragged around by it.
If feminists had their own country, would they survive?
Absolutely not. I think they would eat each other.
Why wouldn't they survive?
The thing about feminists is they actually hate women. They try to hide under this disguise of like, oh, we love women, but they really want to be men, but then also hate men because they're jealous of them. If you just get a bunch of feminists in a room, like I said, I feel like they'll just all start attacking each other. There will be a moment where they do find a disagreement, and the only way that they'll be able to go on is to be. That's what they do.
The lady's right. A lot of these women are in competition with a man. And a lot of times men don't even know it because men are going about their own business, doing their own thing. But modern women, they're so insecure that they're in competition with a man, secretly looking to supplant him, as if this man has put himself on a pedestal. And this man is looking around when he's finally confronted with it. He's like, what pedestal are you talking about? I'm just going to work. Yeah, your male privilege is straight. Well, white male privilege. You a man. Well, I'm black. Well, you a man anyway. And I understand. I know as a man, you're going to get inherent privileges, but you get inherent privileges as a woman. No, it ain't the same as a. Okay, I got it. Relax.